This is some bullshit. This is gonna be a Get Real with Kevin video. We're gonna go through what the hell just happened and why this is going into a dirty old coffee mug. Then, after I briefly discuss that, I'll go through the day's news over the last couple days here of research because there's a lot to catch up on. But first, cheers. That tastes terrible. I think there's some like residual coffee at the bottom. Freaking sucks. A little pissed. Capri Sun as a chaser. All right. Why am I so freaking pissed? This is gonna sound so first worldy, and there's no real way to explain this. And so, this is why I'm just gonna try to say it and keep it short so we can get into the freaking news of the day and what happened with the damn market today. Okay? I started the day up like this on my I started the month out. This month started at $1.43 million, which is great. The problem is, the damn sucker, we had our first red day today, and it was a big drop on the right side. I'm pissed. I effed up. And like, the account is still up like $469,000. Like, who comes with that? I should be happy, but I'm not because of the psychology of trading. You can never win. No, it's okay. I actually know exactly what happened. The big lesson here is I shouldn't have played Friday 0 days. I've said previously that you shouldn't play Friday 0 days, except not only did I play Friday 0 days, I didn't pay attention to the fact that people would actually give a flying hoot about the Chicago PMIs. Are you kidding me? The Chicago PMIs wrecked me today, and the downtrend was insane. Now, I was able to make some money back on Salesforce, but it just didn't fix the day. So, it was a bad day. And it was the first red day in trading that I had since April. Dang it! I almost had all month with every single day green. Now, look, obviously, I realize it is, it's stupid to think that you should always be green in trading. There are going to be red days. And the way to solve that is set barriers around how much you risk. I didn't limit my risk today as much as I should have. And as a result, I lost money today. And it hurts. And even though I'm up on the month, I'm up on the quarter, I'm up on the year, a lot. Again, we took, a $900-something thousand account, and it's now $1.9 million. It's a pisser because it did have a 2 in the front, right? It had a 2. It was even higher intraday. So I'm upset, and it's on coupon code expiration day 2, which obviously nobody should expect that 100% of the time you're green. Like, nobody should expect that. When you join the courses, it's about perspective. Like, okay, what is Kevin seeing in the trend of the market today? How do I want to play if you're trading? What does Kevin see from a fundamental point of view? We saw this Dell drop coming, for example. That's what we talked about in our course member live stream yesterday before Dell earnings. It just sucks. So it was a rough day, but what's really remarkable about it is we actually had a rally into the close. Look at this. Insanely rapid decline at the beginning of the day, downtrend and bleed out, second downtrend and bleed out. I made a lot of money right here on Salesforce. Really, really good. Like 6 figures of money on Salesforce right here. And it really helped when we had this recovery because I was going for call options on Salesforce on this breakout over here, specifically off the bounce over here, 216. I think it was right around this dip here. It was glorious. I mean, if I held longer, I think I may have actually been able to go green today. But point is, it was a really rough day. So, because the other trades just didn't work. So today sucks, but what are you going to do? That's life, and I just have to deal with it. So what we're going to do instead of continuing to complain or talking about the expiring coupon code today on the programs on building your wealth, obviously, I'm grateful that the account is it's more than doubled since we started trading in it back in really like earlier this year in Q1. And I'm grateful I'm up on the month. I feel really bad today. And I realize it's like first world problem, like woe is me, poor you, or whatever. I could be red on the month. I get that. But I think that's just the psychological aspect of trading. And so I find it's really important to analyze when there's something that you recognize that's making you emotional, so that way you can identify that and then limit that in the future. So again, my rule of thumb for the future is going to be limit risk, which I usually do. I didn't today. But then I combined not limiting risk with 0 days on a Friday. And even though we got the recovery into the close I was looking for, I just wasn't able to recover some of the losing positions. And it sucked. With that said, let's take a look at some of the news. All right, look. Pension funds in California, and we're going to go through a lot of different topics here. Tesla, the market, trajectories, inflation. We're going to cover it all. So just buckle up, have a drink, and let's just chill together and talk about the market and try to provide some value here. First things first. Pension funds in California are getting absolutely wrecked. Not only in California, but also in Canada. You've got a lot of pension funds just getting reamed. And that's frankly because a lot of them have exposure to office towers in like Manhattan and San Francisco. And a lot of these office valuations are slumping. Unfortunately, I don't actually think the office slump is going to end anytime soon. It's basically this slow bleed. And so the slow bleed of pension fund investments in office towers, unfortunately, might continue as artificial intelligence creates a productivity boom of people not only working from home, but companies being able to do more with fewer working individuals. Frankly, I think the only reason that we have positive employment numbers right now is because of illegal immigration. Illegal immigrants do show up on the BLS labor report of total employees for companies or household individuals working, whether or not they're legal. And while I believe that there should be a very streamlined legal immigration method to get into the United States, we obviously don't have one. We have an immigration problem, an illegal immigration problem, but I don't think politicians are actually really motivated to deal with it because they benefit from better employment numbers. But those sort of jobs are not the jobs that end up in offices. As a result, private funds that were exposed to these offices reported a negative 12% return in 2023, even worse than pension funds. And share prices of publicly traded REITs have fallen much further than some of those private ones, thanks to really just a distaste for offices right now. It's one of the things in the stock market. You get this acceleration of excitement and pessimism. I mean, you saw the Qs probably today. We literally sold off 1.8% and then ended the day flat. What are the freaking odds of that? That's insane. Now, fortunately, I had a Tesla call going into the close. I actually thought I was going to hold it until next week, but I had a Tesla call going into the close that I sent out an alert for in the Stocks and Psych group. Remember, coupon expiring today. And I was able to make back a chunk of money that I had losses on during the day. Again, it was the first red day, and I think that like really kind of screwed with my mentality a little bit, which was bad. And it's very important to recognize those things if you're ever trading. If you make mistakes, it's okay. But what are you going to do to limit those losses in the future? That's very, very important. So obviously, I want to go into June with a clean slate and try to make sure we can get a green P&L for June. I had a really, really green P&L for May, but I still feel like an asshole. I still feel like a loser. And I'm sorry, like it might come across as like, oh, poor you lost money or whatever. You didn't make as much money as you could have. The reality is the psychology of money is real. There's the reason I've created the course called the Stocks and Psychology of Money. It's because a lot of it is in your head. How you deal with the problems of the fluctuations of the insane market and how you limit your downside exposure and maximize your upside exposure. It's hard. Anyway, going on here. In 2000, CalPERS invested in the Sacramento area to flourish a 53-story condo, and a decade later, the board approved new plans due to falling financing. The plan was then scrapped because it could not find sufficient office tenants, which happened just before the pandemic struck. CalPERS invested a total of $87 million in the Sacramento parcel, but later sold the land for only $17 million. In other words, CalPERS got wrecked speculating on real estate. Speculating on real estate is a very, very big risk. When it comes to my long-term stock positions, I like a diversified stock portfolio. I generally trade at any given point a fraction of a percent to maybe 1% of my portfolio at any given time. So I really try to keep my exposure low to trading. I just want to make that very clear. And when it comes to real estate, I actually don't speculate. I do zero speculation in real estate. I make bets where I see upside day one. That's just my thesis for real estate. So most of my portfolio, like 99% of my exposure to like wealth assets, is non-speculative. And I think that's very, very important. But it's also fun to trade, especially if you can make money, the exception of today. All right, next. 2/3 of Greece's electricity is supplied by solar and wind turbines, which basically affects Greece. However, Greece is going back to fossil fuels, possibly because we've actually seen deflation in fossil fuels. Did you notice over the last 30 days we actually had inflation fall because gas prices came down, oil prices came down as some of the geopolitical issues felt a little bit more contained in the Middle East. And supply disruptions don't necessarily occur as a result of increasing conflicts in Israel. Worth noting that. But what's worth here also keeping in mind is that Greece is ultimately going to get billions of dollars of heavily subsidized gas infrastructure. And what they're really trying to do is position themselves as central to all of the EU's energy security. Now, why does that matter? Well, quite frankly, it matters because Russia used to fill that role. So a lot of folks are looking at, hey, how can we benefit off of supplying natural gas to Europe? Well, first of all, if you're ever trading commodities, more supply coming online in Europe will probably lead to a net decline in energy prices for fuels across the board. See, the Nord Stream pipeline might be gone because of what's going on in Ukraine and with Russia, but as countries try to get away from Russia, they build out their own infrastructure, much like Greece is doing. And so what ends up happening, or even Cyprus, which is benefiting heavily from government subsidies, what ends up happening is you end up creating substantially more supply and prices end up coming down. Obviously, we've got the ISS group this morning, which voted against the Tesla stock comp plans back in 2018, coming out again today, reiterating that you should also vote against the 2024 Tesla stock comp plan. I'm actually a believer that Tesla stock is probably going to create a bottom before this vote, and it's probably going to rally afterwards. We won't actually get delivery numbers until the beginning of July, but I actually think this 0.99% interest rate promotion is much better for Tesla than lowering car prices, and it actually makes me heavily bullish on Tesla. I think on my trading today, Tesla actually helped me make some money, whereas some other trades helped me lose some money today. I will fact check that in just a moment here. But I actually strongly believe that there's some real upside in Tesla because most of the negativity is just built into. Oh no, I was negative on Tesla. Darn it. I still ended the day down 20 on Tesla, but I was up 6 figures on CRM. Let's go. Don't talk to me about Supermicro Computer or Dell. I don't want to talk about it. Let's just say there's a reason I'm drinking Jack out of a SpongeBob mug today. But that's okay. Again, nobody should buy into my courses on building your wealth expecting every single trade and every single day to work out. The whole point of the courses is to teach you to spot trends, to play lines, and to learn from my successes and my failures. So when I F up like I did today, and you look and you go, damn, son, look at that loser. What a clown. But damn, he's up on the month. Holy shit. 400 grand. I could buy a house with that. The whole point of that is for you to look and go, okay, got it. I learn. I'm going to take the lessons. I'm going to avoid those mistakes. right? I want to be the embodiment of what to do and what not to do. And you kind of pick which ones. It's very hard. Like, the pressure on me feels really, really high, because obviously when I trade, I'm trading in real time, and I send these alerts, and I'm like, you know, if I F up, I feel like horrible, because it's like a lot of people are looking. You know, we have often 1,000 people in our course member live streams every single morning as we talk fundamental analysis. And a lot of people are just grateful. They've been there for 4 or 5 years. They know not to copy my trades. They just take the ideas and apply those to their own trading portfolios. But, yeah, it's 13:37 right now as I'm filming this, and cheers. I love y'all. All right. So anyway, look, a lot of these companies, or you know, whether it's Glass Lewis or whatever, they're not really going to matter, in my opinion. They're going to vote the same way they did. They're going to be part of that 30% of individuals who voted against the Tesla stock comp back in 2018. But the reality is, even if this vote fails, the stock will probably go up, in my opinion, not financial advice, because the board will just come up with a new plan. Like, it's not that hard. Anyway, so the question now is, what happens for the next topics? What happens here after the Donald Trump verdict? Apparently, there was a goal to have a debate on X between Trump and Biden. The invitation was denied by Joe Biden. I don't think the White House likes Elon Musk at all. I don't think Democrats like Elon Musk. It's unfortunate, because I know Elon can be a little rash. I also recognize that about myself. But, you know, I don't think he's a bad person. I think he truly is trying his best. But there's definitely some shystering going on there, too. And that just sort of reiterates every single time the Democratic side will pick up on any of the shystering and just go, that's why we don't like you. And other people who actually do like him, often those on the right, will be like, no, that's exactly why we like him. But our world has actually gotten very divided. And so it's very sad. I try so hard on this channel to just provide perspectives on both sides of the aisle, because I don't think Democrats are bad people. I don't think Republicans are bad people. I don't think independents are bad people. I think everybody's just got a different opinion on what's best for the world. And it's really hard to take a step back and say, oh yeah, like, other opinions can actually be correct as well. It's very hard. And in politics, it just makes you look weak. But I'm not in politics. I'm not a politician. Yeah, I know some people are like, but you ran for governor in California. Yeah, I ran for governor as not a politician, and still not a politician. I kind of hate politics. I just wanted to help California. You know, now we're in, like, massive deficits in California. It's really sad. Like, horrible deficits in California, to where some of the campaign promises that were made by Democrats in California can't even be fulfilled because there's no money left, like the healthcare minimum wage or otherwise. Anyway, there's talk about Bill Ackman potentially being one of the first of sort of this dam breaking of billionaires who are going to come out and support Donald Trump in the U.S. election. Donald Trump raised like $35 million in the last 24 hours, probably even more since then, since the reporting of that, in support for Donald Trump. So I personally don't think that Donald Trump is going to end up in jail. I think there's going to be some kind of fine. There'll be some form of probation. There'll be some kind of, you know, imposition upon him, almost with certainty. I don't really... Like, I'm not going to make bets on an appeal actually going through. I just think he's going to get punished. He's going to get punched in the face, basically. He'll pay his fine. He'll do his whatever time in probation or whatever it is. But there's this real possibility that you could actually galvanize support for Donald Trump becoming president to, as many on the right say, clean up the system. Although many on the left will say, no, like, you're not above the law just because you were president. And so there's nothing to clean up. Like, the system works just the way it is. Ultimately, Donald Trump is right when he says November 5th will determine what's to happen here. And so we'll see. Personally, and I feel like I'm going against everything that I've always said on the channel. But personally, I think I'm just not going to vote. This is very stupid. You should always vote. But I personally think I'm not going to vote in this election, mostly because I tell everybody on the channel that my goal is to be as unbiased as possible and to provide neutral information and honestly just be real with you. You know, if I get absolutely reamed on a day and I just feel like crap and it's, 1:41 and I'm drinking Jack Daniels out of a SpongeBob mug, then I'm going to share that with you, as painful as that is on the inside. But, when we can cheer about a huge win on a trade too, I want to be there with you too. This is just one of those, I wanted to say sobering times, but I don't think that's appropriate right now. Anyway. So, one of the team members here mentions Trump's ad team is on their A game. They always are. I'm a political prisoner. I mean, they're really trying to compare themselves to like Snowden. And it's very incredible. I sincerely believe that my goal is to be 50-50. I know when I ran for governor, I ran as a 51-49. More and more, that's become a little bit more 50-50. And I think, obviously, there are going to be times when it comes across as I lean a certain way. But I just want everybody to be happy and to win. And I think that's why, like, it's not the money that matters to me today, but it's just sort of like the guilt of, like, there were bad alerts today, they weren't good. And so, Salesforce was freaking great, but like you would have had to have picked through the weeds, So, if you want to be part of the craziness, coupon expires tonight. The whole, by the way, I know people are like, oh, but it's always a coupon. The price just goes up over time. Like this year, quite frankly, for like the last year, the price has been up. And that's the goal. The goal is just keep adding value, increase the price. All right, what is this? Japanese currency exchange hacked. Over $300 million worth of Bitcoin gone. So one of the biggest issues that you have with crypto is this fear of people getting hacked. But you realize like most of these hacks are entirely preventable. People just have really terrible password practices. They get phished. They get tricked by bots. Do you know that Russian hackers will literally use artificial intelligence to voice mask their voice and make them sound not Russian, to make them sound American or German or whatever? Yeah. Now, when I think of voice masks, I think back to the days of being a child and playing Counter-Strike. And everybody had a voice mask that sounded like this. Yes, I am a mature adult. I am not a 14-year-old. Oh, boy. Yeah. But AI is now helping people utilize voice transmography to scam people, basically. And there are a lot of scams. Keep in mind, I'll never DM you on WhatsApp or, quite frankly, really anywhere because I got enough going on. Anyway, somewhat interesting. So DMM is Bitcoin is preventing new accounts from being opened and cryptocurrency from being withdrawn. This is a lot like, unfortunately, what FTX did right before FTX went bankrupt. And when that was occurring, I remember making videos saying, please get your money out of FTX. They're about to collapse. And then like a week later, they collapsed. Runs on a company or a bank are basically the death of them. As soon as you lose trust, they collapse, which is really the same of any brokerage that exists, except registered brokerages like Robinhood or Interactive Brokers or JP Morgan. They are regulated by SIPC, the SEC, and FINRA, and so they provide some level of insurance or guarantees. Whereas unregulated institutions like those in crypto, like, yes, Coinbase, which is also a sponsor of the channel, don't have those benefits. Now, I'm a big fan of Coinbase. I do think some of their revenues as an investment are going to go down because of the ETFs, because they can't trade ETFs. They can only trade the underlying. But trading volumes have been up, so maybe that'll be bullish in the short term. I don't know. All I know is you can get up to $200 if you sign up for an account at Coinbase by going to mekevin.com/Coinbase. They are a paid promoter of the channel. But I'm always going to give you my straight opinion and fair scoop of what's going on. American exceptionalism. What's happening to the rest of the world? Even after adjusting for inflation, Canadian GDP per capita is on a constant downtrend since 2021, significantly below pre-pandemic levels. Yeah, look at that. In 17, 18, we are way below that. Honestly, part of that probably has to do with housing. They don't have the benefit of the 30-year fixed rate mortgage, and as inventory increases, housing values go down. Therefore, expenditures into capital improvements into a house, a new kitchen, new bathroom, new landscaping, whatever, go down because, when market values are declining, Home Depot told us this on an earnings call. When home values are declining, people perceive that expenses on their home or investments into their home are just expenses. They're a negative outlay. Whereas when home values are increasing, they see improvements on their home as an investment. Kind of an interesting psychology, right? It's like, when the value's going down, I'm spending money. When the value's going up, I'm investing. And people just delude themselves, right? I mean, this is one of the things I teach in the property management and rental renovations course, which is also expiring today at its current price. What I teach people is, here's how to renovate. Here's where not to spend money, and here is where to spend money. And the difference of that could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah. Oh, well, I'm going to take another sip of this. But I know there's talk about this being another case of U.S. exceptionalism, but really it's like the 30-year fixed rate mortgage that's contributing to GDP, but also artificial intelligence, right? Most of the AI revolution, whether it's NVIDIA, OpenAI, or whatever, is happening in the United States. Microsoft, Meta, Apple, Amazon, these are U.S. companies. So, of course, the wins are going to be concentrated in the U.S. Makes sense. Let's drink some more of this. That's not good. Woo! That's Jack Daniels. You know what Jack calls it? He calls it Me Daniels. I think he's coming in right now. Nope, probably can't get the second door open. That's why I closed it, because I'm filming. Anyway, yeah, a lot of people looking for more data on the consumer. You don't really need more data on the consumer. Let's be real. Prices are coming down. A lot of people get really pissed at me for saying this, but we are going to have lower interest rates in 2033 as we've ever had before in history. Ever. That's my opinion. But I think you can take it to the bank. That's not personalized financial advice. People get very mad at me about that. They're like, no. The trend of declining interest rates is going away, and we're screwed. We're going to have higher for a very long time. And I'm like, no, you're wrong. Now, that's my opinion. It may prove that I'm wrong. But I don't think I will be. I think that artificial intelligence combined with productivity at companies, the lack of excess from the government printing as much money, they'll always print money, get your money out of cash, will lead to a substantial long-term downtrend in, quite frankly, inflation. In fact, boomers, who have the vast majority of wealth in America, are individuals who are not inclined to spend. Usually boomers spend, but they're worried about running out of savings, so they're not spending. And as they don't spend, they unfortunately contribute to deflation. I mean, I was just looking at, I think it was Dick's is having a price war. Ulta was a company we were looking at this morning. They're having price competition. Prices go down. It's that simple. The only prices that are going up are the courses on building your wealth. And you can take that to the bank. If you buy the course today and next year the course is cheaper, I'll make you whole. But I don't think that's going to be the case. You buy the course today for like, I don't know, $580. Watch, next year it's going to be like $680 or $780 or $880. I don't know. Depends on how much value we add and how much interaction there's going to be. Because it takes work too. Net exporting countries don't want U.S. debt anymore. De-dollarization. It's widely accepted that the global savings glut, so many people's savings, is driving lower yields for longer periods of time. So there's this idea that a lot of countries have invested in U.S. bonds and they're starting to dump them. And because they're dumping them, yields are going up in the U.S. That could be very stupid. That's sort of like selling at the bottom. I mean, frankly, I think that if yields trend up over time, bond yields are going to rise. But other countries have lost so much money on investing in U.S. bonds that they kind of just close out those positions, take their losses, and move on. Currently, the countries that hold the most U.S. debt are Japan, China, and the United Kingdom. As of early 2023, Japan, a surplus country, leads with approximately $1.1 trillion in U.S. Treasuries holdings, followed by China with about 859, and the United Kingdom with 668 billion. Now, what's really interesting about this is people forget that the largest owner of U.S. Treasuries is actually the American populace. Yes, American individuals own the most U.S. debt, but when it comes to foreign countries, Japan is now in the lead. China used to be in the lead. Not anymore! Very interesting. Yeah. So, anyway. All right. So what else do we have? We have Stellantis launches their first full electric vehicle. How interesting is this? This is the first fully electric Jeep. A 2024 Jeep Wagoneer S has a 0 to 60 of 3.4 seconds. You know, this is actually dilutive to Tesla because Tesla's always been like, oh, they're so fast, they're so fun. Yeah, well, that's because you have the torque of an electric engine. Well, it's not really is it an engine or is it a motor? Electric motor. Combustion engines. Got you. Anyway, yeah, you slap a battery on some cars, man, they move. They move! Stellantis stock didn't really move on that, but I think that's because people are kind of like over EVs at the moment, with the exception of that financing offer Tesla's had. Damn! Tesla to recall over 125,000 vehicles for faulty seatbelt warning. Keep in mind, this is an over-the-air update, so when we hear about these recalls, it's like, come on, man. Come on, like, are we really going to spend time on an over-the-air software update? I mean, it's worth looking at here, and you could look at it here in terms of which models are affected, but boy, people make a lot of noise about this. Holy crap. Whatever. This morning, we talked about the personal consumption expenditures index, which came in at expectations. And this is really what screwed me today. I'm like, damn, we're at expectations. Let's freaking go. We's going long, boys and girls. Oh no, 15 minutes later, the Chicago PMIs come out, and Kevin didn't set stop losses for those, and whoopsies. Dude, I got reamed. Today. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. We're still up $469,000 on the freaking month. Which, I mean, think about that. 469 divided by, what is it, 1908? 1903 is the account? Well, I mean, it was much smaller, right? So I think what you have to do is go 1903 minus 469. And then you really have to do 1434, which is what it was. And then divide into that 1903. Bro, we're up 32.7% on the month on trading. And I'm being a little bitch drinking in the 1 o'clock hour because I'm pissed that I didn't follow my own freaking rules on the day. Oh, it's okay. Learn from me. Don't be like Kevin. Meet Kevin. Don't be like Kevin. It's very stressful. Okay. All right, what else? Geopolitical issues with Taiwan could be a buying opportunity per T.S. Lombard. T.S. Lombard believes that geopolitical risk with Taiwan will continue to escalate over the next 4 years, but they see it as a buy the risk. In fact, as of the last Taiwanese election, the executive branch is now controlled by the DPP. And the executive branch, or the legislative branch, is controlled by the KMT. And usually when you have split leadership here, you actually get very, very little done. And that's actually deemed good to the stock market. People don't like it when governments have too much power, like in California. You get a supermajority of Democrats. T.S. Lombard believes this will be the last flex before the U.S. election, citing China's historic tendency to keep a low profile leading up to U.S. elections. Ooh, I could feel like the alcohol is starting to hit. I'm probably just going to take a nap after this. You know what I won't do? I won't be driving anywhere. Don't do that. Anyway, how America created its own competition. Oh, shouldn't that be its without the apostrophe? I'm pretty sure there's no apostrophe in that. Anyway, Western sanctions aimed at weakening authoritarian regimes have unintentionally fostered a global shadow economy with China at its center. Despite trade restrictions on countries like Russia, Iran, and Venezuela and North Korea, China has strengthened its trade relationship with these nations. This bloc now trades extensively in items like drones, missiles, gold, oil, and enabling them to withstand U.S. economic pressure. Right, as soon as you get out of like the U.S. dollar and U.S. treasuries, the ability of the U.S. to manipulate these foreign countries is substantially limited. Now, the U.S. is still the best of the worst, but let's be real, all currencies are just a Ponzi scheme. Another noticeable quote. I think that's notable, but anyway. Oil revenue from China is propping up the Iranian and Russian economies. Right, I mean, China is just buying the dip on oil in China, or sorry, in Russia and Iran because it's cheap. And I honestly don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. You got some like skirting of sanctions that happens with China. Some facts on that here. And there's talk about, will boomers create hyperinflation? The answer to that is no. They don't spend their money. Economists speculated that maybe they will, but it hasn't been happening. They continue to be savers. How crazy is that? We actually covered that a few days ago, covering an Economist piece. The Economist is a great magazine, by the way. Ugh, I feel so defeated today. I'm sorry. GPT used by foreign propagandists and AI criticism. Ooh. OpenAI identified and stopped 5 covert influence operations in just the last 3 months. It said groups in China, Russia, Iran, and Israel used its tools. OpenAI said operations tend to manipulate public opinion and sway political outcomes through deception. Last 3 months? Dude, I want to look at my P&L for the last 3 months. Because I need to feel a little better right now. I feel like poopy doopy right now. I had a bad day. I had a bad day. What's that song? The guy sings that. Is that inappropriate to reference a guy? So anyway, the last 3 months. Ah! Hate that. Fudge! I understand the last 3 month P&L is up $1 million, but my day today was just bad. It says $1 million there, but there it says 972, so I don't really know which one it is. But whatever. Oh, that might be long stock that's balancing that off, but anyway. Damn it! Almost made $1 million off Tesla, though. God damn! I'm sorry. I think we're just getting to the point where the Sun Daniels is hitting. Oh well. I'll try to focus my eyes as they spin around. Here's the carrots, I swear. OpenAI said operations try to manipulate public opinion and sway political outcomes through deception. The campaigns included topics like Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the conflict in Gaza, Indian elections and politics in Europe and the US. OpenAI has tools to help keep track of these queries and report them to the government. Reportedly, their campaigns have not yet had significant impacts. You realize, like, we have not had a YouTube files or an OpenAI files or a Facebook files. Boy, what's in those? We've only had Twitter files. I covered those while I was listing my publicly listed ETF. This is not an advertisement for that ETF. FINRA, please. This is not an advertisement for that ETF. I'm not mentioning it by name. I'm following the rules. But honestly, I've been buying the dip of my own ETF because I'm a little bitch and I'm overbuying single stocks for my long portfolio. And I want some diversification. I feel so sad to say. I need to diversify to 20 stocks. How many stocks are there? Hold on. I don't want to show the name of it because I'll get in trouble. So I'll just go to the website. And ooh, I should do it over here. Let's do it over here. Go to the website. Always make sure you read the disclaimers and disclosures, because otherwise the SEC will come hunting you. Honestly, a lot of people really hate the SEC or FINRA or whatever. I don't. I get it. I really get it. Like, there's a reason there are these disclosures so people don't manipulate. Just be transparent. I want you to honestly make fun of me in the comments down below. So how many positions do I have in this? 24. Warren Buffett says you get 20 punch cards. Dude, the Hugh Daniels is hitting. Hey, you know what? How about this? How about this? Oh my god. If you come to the Millionaire symposium, like, I haven't been pitching this really, but we're having this event in Vegas between June 21st and June 23rd. It's $595 right now until the coupon expires tonight. And we're holding it at the Rio. It's going to be 3 days. I'm honestly just going to set up a circle of tables. Like, don't expect too much, but Ben Malla is going to be there, Ross Gerber's going to be there, and some other people are going to be there. But don't worry about them. I'm basically just going to set up a circle of tables, and I'm just going to tear apart every one of y'all's finances. So, like, come with opinions, come with ideas, and I'm going to give you my opinions and my ideas. That's the idea. Obviously, I'll teach building wealth through real estate and some of these other things. Honestly, don't sign up for this. It's going to be so basic. Like, it's just going to be, you're going to sit there with a notepad, and the goal is for you to just take notes. See, my goal is really for people to learn from my failures and my successes. I really don't want to be that douchebag that's just on the internet going, I only make money and I guarantee your results. I don't. I make mistakes. I F up. And I want you to learn from those too. In fact, a lot of what I have in the courses on building your wealth is built by mistakes. Like, I tell people, I know you should not do this because I have messed up too. Anyway, what's this? Making money off obesity, Eli Lilly. Goldman Sachs just increased their expectations for the anti-obesity medications. Eli Lilly. Dude, honestly, I hope these drugs do well. I'm highly concerned that they're going to have some weird adverse side effect, like you're going to get cancer and die. And I don't want that to be the case, because I want people to be able to just lose weight and not have to work for it. I know that sounds crazy, but look at Eli Lilly stock. It's like all-time new highs over and over and over again. I mean, from $300 it went to $820. It's nuts. It's nuts. Anyway, some other news. US is slowing AI chip exports to the Middle East by NVIDIA and AMD. US officials are delaying licenses for chip makers like NVIDIA and AMD to ship AI accelerators to the Middle East due to national security concerns. Yeah. There are concerns that China could access these advanced chips through the Middle East. Yeah. All right. Trump was found guilty. We already know this. Apple's new S-curve for the iPhone. Don't bet against Apple. I'm a real big fan of betting on Apple right now. Enhanced security, improved battery management, superior camera and photography, health and fitness monitoring. Honestly, I want to keep scrolling, but frankly, the Hugh Daniels is taking over. So, I didn't think it would. I thought it would take longer than this. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I hope you make money on the perspectives that I provide. I can't guarantee it. In fact, you might lose money. But that's just me trying to be as transparent as possible. I know I made money this month, this quarter, this year. I am so devastated that I lost money on the last trading day of the month. I'm pissed. I didn't follow my rules. Yeah. This sucks. Does anybody want to go for a drink? Trading's a job. I know I'm up on the month, but I feel like a douchebag. And I honestly don't think I am. I really try to do my best. I know there are a lot of haters that don't like me, but you know what's under this? You're not supposed to know. Suck up the ghosts. Yeah. This is the problem with not having somebody edit your video. So anyway, going over here to the candlesticks. Fuck. That's a downtrend. Minute downtrend. Hey! What's up? Trust the lines, bro. I do believe in the lines, but I don't always follow the lines. Whew! Oh, wow. Okay, the U Daniels is hitting hard. Hey! Look at this. Would you know? The realized P&L over the last month. Boy, I'm going to have to pay taxes on that. I'm going to have to pay taxes on $1 million over the last 3 months. But damn, my P&L is going to help me save money in taxes. That's it. My day P&L is going to help me save money in taxes. Let's freaking go. I'm going to go take a nap now. I don't have anything else to say. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I'm going to hold some children out. You know what? I'm going to get a child. Okay? Wait. Here we go. This is my girlfriend. Summer. I just want you to know you are so incredible. You are so cool, dude. Is a girl a dude? Jack, get over here. Is a girl a dude? Get in here. No? What's a girl? A missus? What are you eating?
A bar, because it's the only thing that I can eat with my things.
What things do you have? Do you have a spacer in your teeth?
Mm-hmm.
See, Jack's getting a spacer in his teeth because he has my problem. See, when I was his age, they just yanked my teeth out. I only have 24 teeth. A normal adult has 32 teeth. And then most people lose 4 teeth due to a wisdom tooth extraction, which I also had. So you're down to 28. I'm down to 24. I lost 4 incisors just to make room for my other teeth. You're getting a spacer, huh?
It's terrible.
Why is it terrible?
It's worse than the toe thing.
It's worse than what?
I have to wear this for 9 months.
I can't hear you because I can't understand you.
I have to wear this for 9 months.
Does anybody understand what he's saying? I don't understand what he's saying. I'm just kidding. I heard you, bro. I'm sorry. I should not make fun of you. Do you know 9 months is as long as it takes to have a baby? Bro, I love you. You're good, dude. Honestly, what you're going through is way better than getting your teeth yanked. I know it feels bad, but when I had my teeth yanked out, they put me on a thing that I had to lie down in. They gave me 8 shots. 8. It hurt because they just kept injecting stuff everywhere. And then they're with pliers, yoinking these adult teeth out. And then you just see this bloody mess come up. It's really bad. So,
well, this is worse than the toe thing, 100%.
So he just had a little ingrown toenail removed by a doctor, and he says his spacer is worse than that. I agree. That's probably true, but what I just described I think is also really true. Hey, do you love me still? A little bit. I love you, dude. Can I have a high five? Do you still love me a little bit? Can you tell the YouTube world about your compound bow experience?
It was cool.
Talking to this.
It was cool.
How was it hanging out with Dad for a weekend?
Cool.
Do you like Dad?
Better than Mom.
Oh! Don't leave a comment on that. By the way, this here is Summer's twin sister. This is Violet. Please meet Violet. She is a beautiful, robust, she's probably 10-pound child. Can't stand on her feet yet, Ella can, but you are so cool, and I love hanging out with you on a regular basis. Look at that. This is, isn't that crazy? Twin sister of Summer. This, on the other hand, is Ella. This is our big girl who was born in October. She is so beautiful. We love you, don't we, Ella? Oh, you're so cute. I love playing with you. You're so cuddly. And then, do you love Max, too?
Why not advertise these things that you told us here? I feel like nobody else knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber. Meet Kevin. Always great to get your take.
Even though I'm a licensed financial advisor, licensed real estate broker, and becoming a stockbroker, this video is not personalized advice for you. It is not tax, legal, or otherwise personalized advice tailored to you. This video provides generalized perspective, information, and commentary. Any third-party content I show shall not be deemed endorsed by me. This video is not and shall never be deemed reasonably sufficient information for the purposes of evaluating a security or investment decision. Any links or promoted products are either paid affiliations or products or services we may benefit from. I also personally operate an actively managed ETF. I may personally hold or otherwise hold long or short positions in various securities, potentially including those mentioned in this video. However, I have no relationship to any issuer other than Househack, nor am I presently acting as a market maker. Make sure if you're considering investing in Househack to always read the PPM at househack.com.